welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trusts a tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with the holier than thou man himself.
Holier than thou.
The man who praises his own gospel, Father Scoot Mitchell.
Just saying, all will be revealed, my children. All will be revealed. And we welcome all.
And of course, ladies, you love them. You love to hate that you love them even more. But as Scoot said, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Panty Raider himself, Jaeger, bombastic, so fantastic that if you had a gift receipt for him, you still wouldn't take him back.
Ooh.
Mm-mm.
Only panty raiding I do is when I'm trying to look for the condom, y'all. Come on now.
I mean, we can go ahead and get into this first one now since we're talking about the man, the myth, and the legend.
Oh no.
So the beautiful thing about Instagram and its new algorithms and things like that,
Oh
tend
no.
to
Oh
see
no.
when people like things.
Oh no.
And you tend to see sometimes when people you follow post
Like
things.
things. Oh no.
So, scrolling on the ground, Shotzi posting pics with the creature from the Black Lagoon mask on.
Ah,
And
shit.
the first comment I see, and the only comment I see, is from the heartthrob himself.
Huh. This I did not know about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
Do tell.
Look, I was far from the first comment, nor the
You wasn't
only
the first
comment.
comment. Since I follow you,
There
you
were
were the only comment I saw.
there are plenty of blue checks that you should be following that were
Nah.
commenting before I.
Nah, that ain't how this work.
Damn.
But Shotzi was, like I said, creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes, she
And,
was.
Mr. Bombastic here's comment was like, I need to find that lagoon. Like I need to find it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I just sent it to us in our group chat so you can see it, Dizzle. But yeah. So I just thought it was funny that Jaeger shooting them shots at
I
Shotzi,
mean,
but he's the heartthrob for a reason though.
shots for Shotzi.
Shots for Shotzi.
You know what? She could leave the mask on. I don't think I'd mind it too much.
See? Shooting shots.
But I mean, of course, she'd be better with the mask off. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fellas, how y'all feeling about this week in wrestling so far?
There were some downs before there were some ups, but then even the ups had a couple of downs. So.
Damn, that's actually a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thank y'all for a great show. Like he just killed
peace out.
Like shit, that bar.
WWE doesn't fail to WWE. It's funny because ironically enough, the pay-per-view was called Day One, and they're still doing shit they've been doing since their Day One. It's funny how true of a title that was for that pay-per-view, especially with the whole putting the title on Brock Lesnar thing. To go from that, and basically for them to do exactly what it was that I said was probably going to happen, with this whole Big E thing. As I said, no disrespect to Big E,
Well,
but
hold on. Let me
oh,
throw it up there. Let me throw it up
okay.
there.
No disrespect to Big E, just like I said before, it's just one of those things. It's like when they had booked him to win that title, when they had him post the shit on social media to let everybody know, hey, tune in. I said this was pretty much to combat AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And it pissed me off because there was so many things that they could have done to help Big E and propel him the right way organically in this title run. And they shit the bed completely. That's nothing against Big E because it wasn't his fault. They basically catapulted him into a situation that not necessarily saying that he wasn't ready for. It's just something as far as for the story, for storytelling purposes. It's like you didn't do it right to the point to where it was going to favor him. And so much so that they didn't even take a second thought to be like, hey, are we doing the right thing by putting the title on Brock and get taken off of Big E? No, it's they just it was that easy for them to make that decision.
Well, that's the one thing that's been frustrating me a lot of what I've been seeing on the net, and not for it's around, but even Jim Cornette and Brian Last talked about it too. It's killing me that a lot of people saying that this booking choice was correct.
What?
Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, how, when he had nothing to do with this match? He had nothing to do with any of this whatsoever.
I'll defend that statement by saying this. Because of what I just said in terms of them not doing this organically, it was the right booking choice to take the title off of Big E. Because if you weren't going to do it right, you shouldn't have put the title on them to begin with. At least give them a second chance to do it right. Now,
word was coming out that Seth was probably going to win.
That as well, and that's what I'm saying is that it's so easy for them to make the decision to take the title off of him, which tells me that in the beginning, the decision for them to initially put the title on him wasn't in the plans. They just did that to combat AEW. And because when you have a plan, just like with Roman, they know they have a plan for Roman, which is why he hasn't lost that title yet. The same thing with Bobby Lashley winning that title. And granted, Miz kind of got in the midst of that, but I'm pretty sure the plan was always to put the title on Bobby Lashley. Now, with this, you could even look at this booking. I mean, hell, you can look at the booking of just this pay-per-view most recently and look at that as a prime example of his title run. They went from a singles to a triple threat to a 4-way all the way to a 5-way. And it just seemed like nobody knew what the fuck to do. And that's the problem there. So even the booking behind each match made no fucking sense. So with that, this is why I would defend that and say, yeah, this was the right call. Now, will I say, was it the right call to put the title on Brock? Absolutely not. Because if you're trying to book him and Bobby Lashley in a match, it doesn't need the title.
It really doesn't.
It's the same thing with how they booked Brock and Goldberg back in the day. It wasn't for the title.
They could have just had a good old fashioned beefy boy brawl and call it a day. It didn't have to involve the title. Yeah, I said it, beefy boy brawl, because this is gonna be at Royal Rumble.
Oh, that B3.
Yep. And they could have just had them a beefy boy brawl just for the hell of it. It didn't have to have no title implications behind it or none of that. It could have just been like, look, I hear you've been talking your shit. Let's do this shit.
And that's also another thing is because if the plan is for Brock and Roman to still have their match, what's the purpose of all of this? Is he going to lose the title? Is this going to be a champion versus champion match at WrestleMania? Are they going to a point where they're going to unify the titles in the brand split, or like what's going to happen?
It's just all rumors.
Yeah, nothing makes any sense at this point. So
you know what?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This could be the conspiracy theorist in me. Well, it probably is. But thinking on it, I did see a little social media update that Roman will be back on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's what I was
he's
about
cleared.
to get at.
CDC guidelines just now became a 5-day quarantine, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that even businesses to this day are still keeping it at a 2-week thing, 1 whole week at least, to
Well,
make sure that you're clear and clean. So I
Ashley,
just want to say
Ashley's
it's a little too
conspiracy.
convenient.
Ashley's conspiracy was maybe Roman didn't have COVID.
That's
Maybe
kind of what
Roman
I'm
didn't
leaning
want to.
to.
Maybe Roman didn't want to lose his belt.
That's what I'm leaning to, and I don't mean it in a kayfabe way. I mean the writers didn't want Roman to possibly lose the belt.
It
So
could be
why
that
not
too.
just take him out the match,
Mm-hmm.
shoehorn Brock into this bullshit, and then piss off all your fans?
Mm-hmm.
Which, look, you could have easily had that fatal 4-way, just stay the fatal 4-way, and make whoever won between Seth or Big E, and then you could have had Brock come in after match, just tear everybody apart, talking about I want my damn match,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, I'll see you on Friday, or I'll see you at the Rumble to Roman, looking at the camera, just like saying, yeah, we're having our match.
Right. But no, they went this way, and we'll see what happens at the Rumble. We'll see who wins the Rumble, and we'll see how it shapes from there. That's all
Yeah.
I can say.
I mean, that's all
Um,
anybody could say at this point with
Yeah.
WWE, especially on that end, because that's just dang.
well, speaking
All
of
the trash,
WWE,
trash.
yeah. Go ahead, Diego.
No, I was just saying, Lip, you can call the trash trash. It's trash. So
Oh,
Well,
garbage.
let's keep up with more garbage. As you can see, the headline. Uh, apparently WWE wanted Fox to buy out the company outright.
which is what we've been
Uh,
saying since the
and that
firings have
comes
been going on.
from Freddie Prince Jr. was on the podcast, and Freddie Prince Jr. said one of his homies, who's like a top exec at Fox, he said when he said when WWE originally approached Fox, they was like, why don't you buy the whole company? And they was like, the number they were asking for was like, nah, we'll just
Huh.
get SmackDown instead. So
Interesting.
obviously WWE has been trying to sell, I guess, the company in a sense, but
They
yeah,
shot too high in the wallet range.
I guess so.
Getting greedy.
But so I guess maybe soon WWE will sell off to somebody at some point, and I guess we will see
That's
what
what
happens with that.
every financial analyst that has been involved in checking out what's going on with WWE has called this. That
Mm-hmm.
WWE is making these budget cuts because what do when you want to sell off your company? You sell off all your assets, you cash out big, and go the fuck home.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of, we're going to talk about it as a whole. We did discuss it, but we're going to talk about it as the whole thing. And it is the death of NXT Black and Gold. So they had their display on New Year's Eve with Braun Breaker kicking the X and shattering the logo on the Titantron. We've got news of William Regal, Road Dogg, Timothy Thatcher, mad producers and people working for NXT, Danny Burch, they all got released. Today, we find that Gabe Zapolsky, which is the guy they bought Evolve from to help NXT, he got released. And about a good hour or two before the podcast, they re-released Samoa Joe,
Yeah.
who was working for NXT.
He wasn't even doing anything in ring. He was just like a talent scout.
And because of them.
So
Exactly, because they made him Twitter drop his title. Anyways.
So one or two things is happening here. Oh, I forgot the other thing. If you ever go to WWE.com before New Year's Evil, they like to highlight whatever, like when you're looking at the shows, different matches and things, they like to highlight the show depending on what color. Originally, the color was gold. After Tuesday, the color is now bright green. So they are really doing away with any resemblance of NXT Black and Gold. Is this a good move or smart move to the gentleman here?
I'd say it's a dick move.
A dick move, absolutely. But oh man, I'm trying not to be an asshole right now, so I'm gonna choose my words
Whoa. Why are you trying not to be an asshole?
because I'm gonna choose my words wisely on this one because
Okay.
I don't want to get any hate, and I mean I don't really care about it, but just in terms of like hearing where I'm coming from, I don't want to
Okay.
get hate from these NXT 2.0 loyalists, if you want
Okay.
to call them that.
Yep.
Um, this this could be a good move. It could be if they do away with the remnants of the black and gold brand and they do right by these superstars. I mean, like it seems like they're trying to do now, with integrating some of the main roster with it with this new 2.0 makeover.
Mm-hmm.
They may be doing the right thing by these guys, the things that they should have been doing when Triple H was in charge. That's fine. And if it happens, cool. I have no issue with that. Success, hey, if you find a way to succeed and you make this work, you turn me around, make me a fan of it. I have no issue with it. So that's where I leave that part of it. I'm if that's the case, I'm okay with it. Now, when we get into the other side of it, the one thing that I do not want to happen is for them to do away with the whole black and gold brand, succeed with NXT 2.0, and turn this shit around as if Triple H's NXT was so bad that they had to come in, change everything, and now it's a fucking success. That's what I don't want, because I don't want them to switch up the narrative and have a preconceived notion that Triple H was doing a horrible job and they came in and they fixed everything, because that was not the case. They pretty much handcuffed Triple H's hands on a lot of things that he did and made it seem as though he was not doing a good job. NXT Black and Gold was never a fucking issue. Period, point blank, plain and simple.
It's y'all
And
competing with AEW. That was the issue.
correct, because I'm pretty sure Triple H did not want to move to USA. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to move to Wednesdays, because they were on Thursday. They were on Thursday on the network,
Network. Yep.
and I'm pretty sure he was perfectly fine with that. So there was no issue. I'm pretty sure he was okay with his 1 hour time slot that he did perfectly fine with. But you took 1 hour, old school Raw times, and was booking perfectly fine with no issue, making it the brand that it was previously before NXT 2.0. So that's my issue, and this is why I didn't want to come in and sound like an asshole, because people would have thought that I was ranting and being a dick about it. But my thing is, if I plead that and let you guys know, hey, this is where I'm coming from, this is why I feel the way I feel. It's not to say because I hate NXT 2.0, I don't like it right now. They do some things right here and there, but mostly for me, they do a lot wrong. And I just want to see a good product. And I feel like it's not necessary for them to come and do this whole makeover. So yeah, but that's how I feel about it. So
Personally speaking, I think the one thing that's always saved NXT is the wrestling and the wrestlers. The
true.
problem is that you now started to give these people these very early 2000s, early 2010s WWE gimmicks.
True.
And it's like, you know, like I gotta
Yeah.
see this shit again.
And exactly. And that's the thing that kind of makes me mad, because it's like, and I think that's one of the things that kind of detracted me from the whole NXT 2.0 makeover, was because it seems like they're trying to rehash a lot of the old shit instead of just going with what works. And it's like, because I don't know what the beef is with Triple H. I don't understand why it's at the point to where it's like, and it's blatant, and it's not like they're trying to be like, it's not like they're trying to hide it. I mean, they're omitting from it if somebody asked them, but for the most part, it's like, you know, we can see the moves that you're making, and it's at the point to where it's like we see you. We can see
Yeah,
what the fuck is
like we
going
can
on.
see it. Like I mean, the thing is, so the problem is that this was one of them situations to where even if you didn't know the backstage politics to it all, it's still like something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because it literally went from this to this overnight. Like it
Over
didn't,
like the course of 6 months, overnight.
yeah. Yes. But yeah, I think though, even over the
Weird.
course of 6 months, it was still like, okay, something still doesn't smell right with this NXT. I mean, first of all,
Exactly.
you're calling it NXT 2.0. You get this bright, colorful, early AEW-esque color scheme of a logo. You start throwing all of these new superstars at us, and it's like, what?
All at once.
All at once. Then all the people we were familiar with were either starting to get beat left and right, or trying to set up the quote unquote new generation.
Correct.
And New Year's Evil basically was the
Ooh,
nail in the coffin.
don't forget getting released.
And the releases.
Yeah.
And
Back
New
to
Year's
fucking back.
Evil. And all of this has been the nail in the coffin.
And all the failed call ups, just
And
everything,
Booker T.
every single thing.
Booker T, you want to get mad at Johnny Gargano?
I'm waiting to hear his comments on all this shit, because I haven't seen anything yet. I don't even know if he's commented on the whole Brock Lesnar beating Big E thing.
I think he did.
It was pinning Big E.
I think he did. I think he just did recently. But yeah, like trash. But you know, NXT Black and Gold, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
And I will always have fond memories.
AEW is real competition.
Yeah, it's yeah, true, and especially it's funny because Scoot, when you told us about the meme of how NXT was now developmental for
AEW, yeah.
for AEW.
Well, Triple H's NXT.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if there's any Booker T things as of late, which I don't. Oh, okay. So there was something on him talking about Brock. So I'll have to check that out. It's like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out, because that's huh.
Well, let us know. Also, injury update: Ray Phoenix does not have a broken arm.
But now it's even more true. Bent back paperclip. Didn't break. Got bent back. Went right back into place. Telling you. Look. And now that I know it's not broken, I know that shit has to hurt like hell. Because shit just don't bend like that and not break.
It's really not funny. But last night, the way you said it just bent back and just snapped back in, it's not funny.
It did that. I'm telling you. Look, when that shit
It looked
went,
like a jackass moment.
the shit
I'm not gonna lie.
it slingshotted back into place. It's not funny. It's not funny. I'm gonna make light of it because it's not broken, so it's okay. We can laugh about these things. My heart goes out to him. But, it's a freak accident that had an even freakier outcome because the shit didn't break.
And it
And
shouldn't have
so,
happened.
it shouldn't have happened. And I will say this from now on until I get it out of my system, I have to call Ray. I have to nickname him Bent Back Paperclip because I'm happy. I'm happy that it's not broken. I'm happy that it's not a serious injury. But I know for a fact his ass has to be in some fucking pain. So
Yes.
Yeah, man, they got the best painkillers. I mean, doctors attending to him.
well, as long as he's not on them angle painkillers,
Perks. Hey, did y'all know that there was actually like a whole like pages and YouTube dedicated to what they call quote unquote perk angle?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Are there
Absolutely.
really?
Yes.
Hey, look,
And
hey,
they're literally just calling him nothing but perk angle. They're like perk angle at its finest. Perk
but
angle
the,
doing perk angle things.
the thing is about, and I know that we're like going off topic on this, but hey, drugs are bad, y'all. As Mr. Mackey would say,
Drugs are bad. Okay.
drugs are bad. But here's the thing:
They make
that's
for
a
good TV.
testament. That's a testament to how good Kurt Angle is to being on perks like that and having some of the best years in wrestling for him. So that's not to say, go out and do drugs or get hooked on perks. I'm just saying Kurt is a specimen. So just saying. Perk angle.
Calling per angle.
Put that shit on the shirt.
I don't think there's nothing else to discuss, but I guess we can go into our main event, which we kind of hinted at yesterday. And this has been a very hot topic. Big Swole versus Tony Khan. Dizzle made mentions that he might have some very incendiary things to say.
All right. First, before let me just get this out the way first. I don't agree with Tony Khan ending off his social media statement with with him saying that she wasn't that good. I don't think that's his place to necessarily say in public. I think there's a certain decorum that you have to have in terms of business. So that's fine. Leave that to us, on this side to say. You're running that company. You don't want to have anything look bad, which is why I think Leo Rush kind of went off. But Leo Rush is now backing Tony Khan and defending AEW. So yeah, that aside. Oh, Big Swole. Big Swole, Big Swole, Big Swole. Oh, here's the thing. Tony Khan is not wrong. We praised you.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we praised you at the same time we were praising Britt Baker when we first started this podcast, back when it was just an audio podcast. We praised you as, potentially being a future champion. That was in hopes that you would be in a position where a lot of other people are right now. Now, your medical issues aside, we can understand like it's good that you're able to work through all of that. I forgot. I don't know if it was it Crohn's disease. Yeah. Okay. So I can understand that, and that's a testament to how you're able to handle things. But to first say you're going to let your contract run out, and so you'll be leaving the company, all fine and dandy. To sit here and make it seem like everything is cordial, and then once you leave, to sit there and then bash, to sit there and say some stupid, idiotic bullshit that's not even fucking true, to sit here and say that this company does not care, like about any person of color, regardless of whether they're black, Asian, Latin, whatever the case may be, is beyond fucking stupid. Because everybody can see. It'd be different if you said this was like if you were talking about WWE, because now WWE isn't like that, but I mean, you can still make the argument. Tony Khan has done so much, and this is not me, swinging on his fucking scrotum, but Tony Khan has done so much up to this point for the world of professional wrestling to even take on the challenge of giving us an alternative that is equal and sometimes greater than WWE is impressive in its own right. Somebody who's able to humble himself in a business that would eat him alive because of his fandom of this business is a testament to that man. And for you to even allow yourself to utter the words out of that whole fucking statement makes no fucking sense. And then for you to come back and then to try to redact what you said, to change it up and make it seem like you said something different. No, you said something stupid. It was fucking stupid. It was fucking stupid. Period.
Just own that it was stupid. Say that you shouldn't have said it, and move on from it.
Like you, look, you're not with the company anymore, so there's no reason why you should even bash it, because nobody did you wrong in any way, shape, or form. And to look at all these other people as green as Jade Cargill is, and for all the bullshit that we even said about her when she debuted, we've never said anything about you disparaging whatsoever about anything. Nope. And now that I think about it, it's mainly because there was nothing of note for us to talk about, good or bad, because you were irrelevant in that regard.
She did have her spot. She had a main event with Britt.
No, she did. And we talked about that, and that was fine. But what did she do after the whole dental office match with Britt Baker? Did she elevate herself? No, we praised her in that feud, but was that feud because she was good, or was that feud because Britt Baker was so good that she elevated her in the process? That's the thing. That's the thing. Because even once Britt Baker separated, we seen how good Britt Baker got, but then where was Swole? Now, when we think about all the other people of color, you think about Jade Cargill coming in. We talk shit about her and her promo skills and everything, like, what the fuck is going on with this? And she elevated. Now she's a fine fucking character. Wrestling aside, her character and her promo ability has stepped up its game. Red Velvet. Nobody's talking shit about Red Velvet. Everybody's saying Red Velvet could potentially be a TBS champion. She could potentially be a women's champion. She is elevating herself.
I'll be talking about my AEW, babe.
So my thing is, if AEW had a discrimination problem, why are you the only person saying something about it? See, to me, that leads me to believe that anything that you say holds absolutely zero fucking water. Because if everybody else was coming up and saying the same thing, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe she's right. Or now I'm just saying it's sour grapes. You didn't get where you wanted to go because you weren't good enough, and now you're blaming the company that you were with because they didn't push you or favor you because you were one of the first women in the company. Bullshit. Get the smallest violin, grab a tissue, go sit in the fucking corner. I don't give a shit. I'm not holding tears for absolutely any fucking thing. I don't care. I do not care. I don't give a shit, because if you were good enough, you wouldn't be complaining. Simple as that. Get off the fucking soapbox. So I do not care. I do not fucking care.
Okay. All right.
That's it. That's my 2 cents on it.
Jaeger, you want to say anything before? Shit. Okay.
Let's see. Riho, Nyla Rose, Jade Cargill, Sheeta. Let's see. You've got main events with Red Velvet. You've got main events with Thunder Rosa. and still, in my opinion, regarded as the best women's match of AEW's career. If AEW had a problem with discrimination on women alone, that list I just gave you should shut you the hell up. It really just fell on deaf ears when she didn't tell me, but told the ether that AEW had a discrimination problem.
Yeah. And now,
And Tony Khan didn't even need to respond, but I'm glad that he did stand up for the company.
absolutely. Now, I will ask this because I didn't bother looking at the comments when she made that statement. Now, and I could be tripping. I don't know if y'all have looked at it or not, but has there been anybody that's come to her defense?
Not anybody as far as wrestlers. It's always been like fans and stuff, but not as far as wrestlers, no. That I saw.
So fans that basically don't know what the fuck is going on or don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, so the irrelevance, gotcha. No problem.
Okay, all right. So now this is gonna be, okay. The issue I had with the whole way it played out.
Mm-hmm.
Do I disagree with what Swole said? A little bit. Because if you're going to say lack of diversity, you need to specify.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're just talking about a lack of diversity with the black superstars, then say that. Because personally speaking, I've had an issue with the way AEW treats black superstars. Personally. I mean, Scorpio Sky, Nyla Rose, and just recently, of course, Jade Cargill have only been the champions. Black champions. I mean, Scorpio Sky has been chasing the TNT title too, but they keep giving chances to Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Like Scorpio Sky ain't there. There hasn't been really any black superstars in the main event scene or of any prominence. I mean, yeah, we're getting Dante and Powerhouse Hobbs, but once again, there's no any black people on like a top level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do have an issue with the way they book their black superstars, but you can't say lack of diversity when the Chinese superstars, the Mexican superstars, the Japanese superstars, the Hispanic superstars are all there. Like, they're there. I mean, Lucha Bros was just tag champs. You know, like Jaeger mentioned earlier, Riho and Shida. You know, so now the issue I have with Swole personally is kind of what you hinted at, Dizzle. You can't make this one statement, hey guys, I just talked to TK. I'm leaving AEW, we're leaving on good terms. It was fun. I appreciate everything they done for me. And then 2 days later, man, yo, fuck that place, man. They mad fucking racist, yo. Like Tony Khan out there mad tripping. I'm only saying this in the realm of the podcast. He don't like us niggas or nothing like that, yo. Like he ain't even fucking with us like that. That would be the contradictory issue because it's like, because I listened to what Cornette and Last had to say about it, and they kind of said, and once again, they kind of with kind of parallel with what you said. And they even said if this was Leo Rush, they probably would have fired him too. Back in the day, they probably would have fired Leo Rush too. But you can't, on one hand, be thankful. Yeah, AEW was the best. I appreciate it. But then 2 days later, hey yo, fuck your wife in the click. You click like she went from Tupac here. Now. So once again, if a black person, a black superstar, especially a black woman, if they want to speak out with diversity, the one thing I will say is not necessarily right for us to say what was discrimination to them or not.
Yeah.
The problem is Swole should have really explained her comments more. Like
True.
she should have really went more in depth. Like she shouldn't have just left such an incendiary remark and then just walk away from it. Because then, like you said, things come out, things have been said. Now it makes you look like, oh, you just being a troublemaker just to be a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Because if we harken back, Gabrielle Union did the same thing with America's Got Talent.
Mm-hmm.
She went out there and was saying, hey, yo, Jay Leno on here saying some wild shit. Everybody at NBC did a whole campaign against her. Even Terry Crews damn near went out and did a whole campaign against what Gabrielle Union said. She basically I think she quit the show, this,
Mm-hmm.
that, and the other. Then, like a few months later, Simon Cowell did come out and say, hey, yo, Jay Leno was saying some wild shit, y'all. Then it was like, there was no apologies to Gabrielle when Gabrielle was saying it. But Simon Cowell said it. It was like, oh shit, Jay Leno was saying wild shit. So not to say I don't want to believe a black woman or anything like that. You have to. It's kind of like with the Kaepernick situation. I know I'm bouncing all over. It's kind of like with the Kaepernick situation.
Yeah, but I mean it makes sense.
Yeah.
Kaepernick kneeled and he went on a press conference right after that game and told those reporters exactly why he kneeled.
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes later, Kaepernick's disrespecting the flag. He's disrespecting the national anthem. Like, whoa, he literally just told you exactly what he was doing, why he was doing it. He even said an army person who he's close with told him this
Mm-hmm.
would
That
be
this
the
is the
best way
best
to
way.
do it. All of
Yep.
that was ignored.
Yeah, because he had consulted with them beforehand
Yep, and
and
all of
said,
that
"What's
was
the best
ignored.
way?"
All of that was ignored. Now, let me switch over to TK, Tony Khan. Don't start parading around your black friends by saying Nyla, Dante, Hobbs, Caster, all these got wins on TV recently. Don't do the whole I got black friends thing when somebody calls somebody out on racism, because that's kind of what you
Mm-hmm.
did. I got the black
Yeah.
friends thing. Then you're gonna say, oh no, I released her because I didn't like her wrestling.
Yeah,
That's wrong too, because you don't know the influence you might have on other people.
absolutely.
So that's unfair. To like we haven't heard Vince McMahon come out and be like, "Fam, I released Karen Cross because I thought he was just trash." You know, I did that to Brett because Brett was untrustworthy back in '97. I didn't trust
Yeah,
Brett. Brett was trash. Like he didn't do that. I mean, of course, the McMahon character was developed, but so on one hand, I can appreciate Swole coming out and saying what she's saying.
mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, it does make you look kind of contradictory where Monday you were so happy that your contract was leaving. AEW was the greatest experience. Wednesday, fuck this place, yo. Fuck TK. Fuck anybody who, like I said, she went on Tupac hit 'em up style, basically.
Yeah,
And of
Yeah.
course, the other thing I don't like, this is one thing we have to stop doing if we really want things to progress and be better. Let's say Swole does want the black talent, or even the people of color. Once again, the people of color are always featured. The one thing we can't do, you had Captain Sean Dean, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ty Conti, Leo Rush, all of these people kind of coming out and saying things, and it's like, damn, are we really not trying to stick together with this? Are we really not trying to progress it? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Because I don't want it to come off on Swole as, dealing with her skills, dealing with her talent. Because at the end of the day, she is a person. If she did feel like diversity was something lacking there, I would like for her to explain more rather than just saying what she said and then dip. Because I don't
yeah.
think she said anything since, to my knowledge.
No, I don't think so either.
So
The
now I do
curve.
agree with Theo.
Oh, go ahead.
Tony should apologize. Tony
Mhm.
should apologize to Swole because that's fucked up. To
Yeah,
basically
for those comments.
for the just a
Yeah.
good thing, because Tony has to realize, you know how those choose your own games where you can always make a comment, but then every now and then they tell you sometimes being quiet might be the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes being quiet might be the best way to go. So I can see where Swole is coming from. I'm disappointed in what Swole did at the same time, but at the same time, personally speaking, I do have an issue with the way black wrestlers have been booked. Up until, like I said, Jade, because Jade has been booked, but there's better ways of doing this.
Yes.
Twitter, Instagram does not always have to be the grounds of battles.
Yeah.
You
No.
can probably easily called up Tony. This could have potentially stayed in house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless AEW is on some fuck shit, then by all means call that fuck shit out. But with you not truly explaining what you meant, because when you just say lack of diversity in AEW or the lack of diversity in the higher ups, it's like you got to be a little bit more specific.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very fucking true.
I'm gonna let y'all kind of rebuttal to what I said, and then
There's no real rebuttal on my end, except like the only thing I would add for Big Swole is if you're gonna call out the discrimination, at least like you said, be more specific.
be more specific.
My issue, I guess, if you want to talk about representation and the flaws that AEW has, is more so not in the representation because that's there, but I guess you could say in the championship representation.
And
Like,
placement
right?
on the cards at times.
Yeah, that too. Like, shit, Scorpio Sky has been overdue for a TNT title run, in my opinion. But, and I mean, Hobbs, he's FTW champ, but that really
No
holds.
Starks.
Oh yeah, Starks. Sorry,
I
Hobbs
mean,
could have
he's still
easily.
black.
True, but Hobbs could have easily been that that FTW champ a while back, but that's just not how the storyline is written. And I mean, you can make that same argument for why there hasn't really been a one of our black wrestlers or one of AEW's black wrestlers as a champion. Honestly, the way I've seen the championships or the champion runs have been is that the top guys or the guys that started this company, Bucks, Kenny, all them, they want to get their shit out the way. Like they just want to like get their runs and have a good run, have a good story, get that out the way. That way, the company can grow after them.
And it took me a while to kind of see that, because at first I was like, "Damn, this is really kind of like these motherfuckers is everywhere." But now hearing it like that, it makes kind of sense. Let your superstars, in a sense, be there to kind of drive in the people to be the face, and let your
Yeah.
superstars slowly fade while you're like, "Hey, check out this team," while we kind of do this.
Yeah. Like, let us cut promos and then have a good match every now and then while our new faces of the company start headlining and everything else. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be a slow burn for the representation that I think Big Swole wants,
But once again,
but I don't
without her
doubt that
fully
it'll get there.
saying, we don't know exactly what she meant.
Exactly.
So that's the
Exactly.
issue.
Excuse me, what I think she was trying to get at.
Well, and this is where I play the hypothetical game to kind of also partner with the statement that I wanted to make here.
Okay.
And let's say that in her eyes, viewing it from her standpoint, representation it could be an issue. The thing with AEW is they're big on storytelling. Just like with the statements made by with Tony Khan, knowing like his next, his first 4 champions of AEW.
Yeah.
He may have things in place to where he's going to have people represented in certain ways. There could be a bigger story that he's trying to tell. My thing is, why would you even want to disrupt that? Why not trust your leadership? Because thing is, Tony Khan has never showed anything that would make anybody not respect him or not trust him in the way that he does things, especially with the way that the company's going. So and on top of that, what you could potentially be doing by making the statements that you make is you could be hindering the plans in itself, just so that way somebody can appease what you're trying to say to try to make it not seem that. Because let's say that we didn't know who was going to win the TBS championship. Let's say we sat here and we thought Ruby Soho was going to be the person that was going to win that title. And after these comments, and all of a sudden the title's on Jade Cargill, green as hell. If we didn't already know what the plan was.
That was something I saw. It was like, if Ruby wins, does that prove Swole right? Or are they going to give it to Cargill because of what Swole said? So I was seeing comments discussing that.
And see, and that's the thing. And so for people that don't know, like for us, people that's not like us, that don't pay attention to like the dirt sheets and everything and kind of see the transition and where things are going or looking at the road ahead, that don't know any better, they may look at that and say, oh, they put the title on Jade because of what Swole said. Tony Khan is just now trying to feed the whole diversity thing and show some representation. And that's not the case. It's just what was already planned months ago. That's the problem.
The moment Jade Cargill and Smart Mark said that TBS title was going to be that bitch show, it was like,
that was
like, they're not going to let her brand it like that for her not to win it. I knew from then, the moment she said that statement, that was going to be her belt. She was going to be the first champion. Regardless of what Swole's comments were, the moment she nicknamed TBS that bitch show, I was like, yep, that's her belt.
Sure is.
And that's the thing. It's like, and I'm the type of person, like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to get, ahead of the bus and try to be like, oh, I see it, let me go ahead and call it out now. Just so that way I can, if it happens, I can just potentially be like, oh, see, I told y'all from jump this was the case. But what if you're wrong? What if you're trying to say that and then you're wrong in the end and it's not that? Then you just look stupid. And that's the thing, because there's a lot of people who will sit here and defend Swole and say, oh, AEW's racist, all this, and this. But you don't know what's going on. I would say wait until you see some blatant examples of that to sit there and actually be right about it. But don't sit here and try to predict what you think may potentially happen and shout it to the fucking moon, so that way you can be wrong in the end. We don't know, and she could be right, but there is no evidence that states that supports that. It's just a bunch of hypotheticals and he said, she said, and it could happen, but we don't know. We don't know.
And the fact that she's calling it out without any receipts, if like God forbid it is true, this gives them a chance to hide that shit even better, or just cover it all up to begin with.
Yeah. And that's the thing that we talked about. Because we came on here and you guys can go and look at the fucking video that we have on discrimination in WWE when we talked about it. None of us said that WWE was racist. We just put out examples that said, hey, we don't know, but I mean, these examples that state here could potentially mean that, but leave that for you to be the judge. I mean, you make the decision on that call, but I mean, we're not sitting here saying, oh, WWE is wrong in this sense. We're just saying, okay, these are how many people of color that they've had in this company. And this is basically how the criteria looks as far as what they've done, as far as their accomplishments and what they've gone through. We never said, oh, well, this, and this, and oh, yeah, WWE, don't fuck with them. No, we just
But I mean,
open the
so
dialogue.
if you look at any avenues of entertainment, whether it's sports, video games, movies, music, television, there are clear examples of discrimination, potential racism, all of the above. Clear examples. I mean, we can go from video games, like for like ever. I swear it was like a fucking chore to create black folks in video games. Like we could never get hairstyles other than fro, cornrows, or bald head. Like shit. Like that's all we had for a creator player when it came to black folks.
Shout out to
I
the crew
mean,
cut from WWE, WWF Warzone, and WWF Attitude.
right? The crew cut. You know, if you look at
Oh man, I
movie,
remember Booker T with the flat top on the
yep.
WCW versus NWO.
So if you look at sports, sometimes it'll be like, oh shit, the black athletes have been balling out of control, which is like, oh, that's okay, that's nothing new. But a white athlete or this athlete do two things great. Oh my God, do you see? Like, fam, okay, calm down. He's doing nothing different, or she's doing nothing different that the other people are doing. So relax. You know,
Yeah.
there was times, you know, it was called out in like the Oscars and things like that. Like, hey, where are the people of color that are that are not nominated? So it's been examples throughout every facet of entertainment.
Yeah.
The issue is, I'm gonna speak general in a sense. We have to stop running to that card first.
Thank you.
We have to, once again, the same thing I said with the Becky Lynch and Bianca thing. I didn't want to run immediately to the that was racist card.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, so unfortunately, the way our society has got, the more and more we keep claiming something's racist, it's gonna be the boy who cried wolf. That something's going to have to be just so overtly racist that be like, oh shit, that was racist. Like, you know, you got to stop saying every little thing is racist. It might be a little discriminatory, it might be a little prejudice, but we got to stop using racism for everything, because when some true racist shit happens, somebody might be like, look, y'all didn't play the card too much. We're not gonna like we're not going to care. But look at what they do. We're
thank
not
you.
going to care. We're not going to care. The card has been played too much for us to care. So I'm not saying we have to pick and choose our battles, but don't just drop a bomb like that and then just walk away.
Yeah.
Swole, I still support. I still want you to succeed. I still want you and Cedric to have the happy life, everything y'all need. I just wish it didn't happen this way, because, like I said, Monday you were praising, come Wednesday, hey yo, they racist as fuck over there. They don't like
Yeah.
us black folks over there. They don't like diversity over there. Like, you know, come on, we're in a day and age now where it's too easy to dodge situations. It's too easy to have allegations and things stuck to you, and without any evidence, it doesn't stick.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
had evidence, or if you had some stories or something, just like unfortunately what happened with Tessa, they came with receipts for Tessa's ass.
Oh yeah.
Everybody and their mama was on Tessa's ass when Tessa was saying the things she said. So that was an example of like, nah, Tessa, you kind of fucked up, yo.
Yeah.
You know, everybody had receipts. When Bill DeMott was accused of abusing the people when he was doing his training in WWE/NXT, they came with receipts for Bill DeMott's ass. They nah, fam, you mad abusive, yo. So for you to just say, hey, yo, and then this is what kind of made it funny, and ironical funny. You're saying there's a lack of diversity when Tony Khan
It's brown. I'll say it for you. He brown.
not saying they can't be racist, but
No, everybody has the potential to be racist. Come on
like
On top of that, you have Brandy Rhodes there. So if any issue, you could go ahead and talk to her.
I'm not going to personally get into the Brandy situation because
I mean,
have
yeah,
my
I
own thoughts
understand.
and feelings about Brandy. So we're going to just
Yeah.
leave it at that on my end. But yes, Brandy is there. Brandy is there.
And let me say this, because I don't want people to think that I've gotten out of hand and like I'm just completely against Swole. I'm not against Swole, but for the situation at hand, that's the way that I feel about it because of the examples that I've seen with other people, like a Jade Cargill, like Red. That's why I gave those examples, because you look at people who were in a situation where they were either green or are still green, and they're not complaining about the position that they're in. They just work, and you can see that in the ring. You know, you can see that portrayed in that way. You know, and we shit on Brandy Rhodes all the time. We don't think she should be a wrestler. We talk about Nightmare Collective shit all the fucking time, and we shit on that.
We were on her ass with that bullshit.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. You know, do I think Brandy Rhodes needs to be in the ring? No. Matter of fact, I talked about the whole Brandy Rhodes thing like earlier this week or last week about the whole promo she had with fucking Dan Lambert, and I was like, why is this even on TV?
Yeah, a black bitch.
Yeah. So it's not like we're sitting here, you know, nitpicking at Big Swole. It's just what it is. You know, we're not look. If there's something to be said, we're going to say it. That's going to be our opinion. We're not going to sit here and just placate to whoever. You know, even when I started this, I said, Tony Khan, I don't think that was right for you to say that. It wasn't necessary. But at the end of the day, this wouldn't have happened had Swole not gone out and took the first shot. That's just what that is. And just like Scoot said, if she had the reasoning behind her, or if she specified and was very to the point what she was, well, not to the point, but if she specified and was very specific in what she said and gave examples as to why she feels this way, then it would have been a different story. And I probably wouldn't have said the things that I said. But at this point, with that, and if she does, and it makes sense, I'll come back and I'll retract everything I fucking said. But until that happens, I stand by every fucking word I said.
Yeah. And with that being said, we're gonna most likely clip this separate, so that way it can be its own thing. And we challenge y'all out there, just like how we got the engagement with the Bianca and Becky situation. How y'all feel about it? Once again, don't be disrespectful, because regardless of how you feel, I don't tolerate disrespect now. If you feel one way or the other, we don't have to be disrespectful in these comments.
I mean, look, if anybody feels disrespectful, trust me, we will open up the link and we can have an open discussion about it. I invite any and all, because if you have something to say, I would rather you say it to me, Scoot, Jaeger, in an open dialogue. That way we can come to either some mutual understanding, or we can just end it with a, hey, fuck you, nice talking to you, whatever, see you so long, you know, bye-bye.
Because trust and believe, even though it's a brand new year, I still want the smoke. That ain't gonna never change.
There you go. Want it. So
you said New Year, old smoke. Let's go.
New Year, old, let's go.
But
Jaeger, to give one final point, I guess.
Go ahead.
And this
Close it out.
This is an argument maybe Swole could have made, but the only receipt that comes immediately to mind of maybe any kind of discrimination, or maybe you know what, I won't even call it discrimination, but just more so a bias that she should have used if she was going to make such an inflammatory comment as this. She should have, especially making this claim, called out the treatment of Max Caster for his little rap, his little suspension. Meanwhile, you got MJF being the most inflammatory motherfucker, saying everything left and right. However, that is still the only kind of like speculation I'd be able to make that hey, maybe Khan is letting the white guys get away with some shit that black guys can't say.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that it comes down to some in-house politics. Maybe he had some friends that went to Duke or something of that nature. Maybe there's some board members with AEW or people in Jacksonville that went to Duke or something. But if you were going to try and grab at straws, Swole, that should have been the one to start things off.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. I would have backed you 110%.
Yeah.
No argument on that.
You would have, in my opinion, you would have needed at least one more reference. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, that's a sour spot. No, not gonna lie to you. Like, I'll tell you how it is. Like, yeah, that did look bad, and I mean, it's in recent memory still, so it still does look bad. Same time, though, just because it happens once doesn't make it a track record, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But with my little cherry on top there, anything else y'all felt about this?
Nah, I mean that's pretty much it on that end. I mean you tied that with a nice little bow on top, so that's very much appreciated. But you know, I mean, look, you guys all know what it is. You see all the ats and the shit down in the crawl. It's going there. The one thing that is important is that I give a 2 sweet to my bros because that's what this tag is all about. TMI, TMI. Bada, bam. And of course, you already know what it is. Same thing every week, whether you loved it, hate it. Don't forget to rate it, thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave all your comments, concerns, questions down below. Ladies, you want to leave your number down there for you can go right ahead. It's all fine and dandy. But of course,
DMs, baby.
There you go. All day. Hit that notification bell for all those updates, video uploads, everything that we drop every week, each day, whatever the case may be. Most importantly, hit that motherfucking subscribe button.
Down there.
And until you see these handsome faces and hear these immaculate voices, we bid you all adieu. And as always, until next time, you beautiful mother effers, tag the fucketh out.